The toast was loud, obnoxious. Someone even whistled. To her new man. Carly laughed as she lifted her glass, wine sloshing over the rim. The others followed, glasses clinking like the prelude to a public execution. My wife froze, fork in hand, smile half-raised, like her system glitched mid-function. I was seated right beside her, so close I could feel the tremor in her leg under the table. But I didn't speak yet. I waited. I wanted to see if she'd try to fix it. She didn't. That silence stretched too long. So I leaned forward, locked eyes with Carly, and said it flat. Does he even know she's married? The silence that followed wasn't a pause. It was impact. Someone coughed. Another dropped their fork. My wife, Rachel, finally turned toward me. Her lips parted just enough to breathe, but not enough to speak. What? Carly blinked. You toasted, I said calmly, to her new man. I'm her current husband, so I'm just wondering, does he know that? Rachel's hand shot out toward mine under the table, but I moved it before she could touch me. Her smile twitched, collapsed, and she looked around like a cornered animal. I think he knows, I continued, staring at her now. Or maybe he just doesn't care. Could go either way. James, she said my name like a warning. But her voice cracked. Someone at the end of the table muttered, shit. I stood up. Slow. Not in a rage, not dramatic. Just stood. I'll make this easy. I'm not going to flip the table. I'm not going to raise my voice. I'm just going to ask once, how long? Rachel didn't answer. Carly glanced around like she wasn't expecting to be caught this way. Not now. Not publicly. Another friend, Jason, maybe, reached for his glass, suddenly very interested in drinking. Rachel finally whispered, James, this isn't the time. I nodded. That tells me everything. I walked out before anyone could pretend to stop me. The dinner was at Mateo's, downtown, overpriced, open kitchen with exposed brick like that made pasta more authentic. I stepped out into the cold night and lit a cigarette, even though I quit 5 years ago. The buzz in my chest wasn't from the nicotine. It was the math. 8 months ago, Rachel started dressing differently. That wasn't a crime. Neither was the gym routine, or the new perfume, or the way her phone always seemed to be flipped face down. I noticed all of it. I kept the tally. Then came the late returns from strategy meetings, the guarded texts, the weekends where she suddenly needed space to write. She was writing something, all right, a whole new script. I checked her tablet one night while she was asleep. Emails from a contact named Miles G. Not a coworker, not in her circle, but always emailing late, always using phrases like, when can I see you again? And our little secret. I didn't confront her. Not then. Instead, I started preparing. 2 months before that dinner, I hired a firm. Not one of those trashy PI operations, but a forensic firm that specialized in digital mapping and metadata capture. They were expensive, discreet, and thorough. Within 3 weeks, I had location data, screenshots, and surveillance footage. Miles Greer, 34, architect, divorced, no kids, just a man with a condo, a gym membership, and bad judgment. They met at a charity gala. One of those events I couldn't attend because I was on a project deadline. She didn't wear her ring that night. The firm gave me everything. Times, places, even audio from the hotel bar where they laughed too loud. Rachel always said I was paranoid. I never answered that. I just listened. Paranoia only looks crazy until you're right. I didn't go home after leaving the dinner. I went to a storage unit on 9th Street. Inside was a backup drive, a laptop, and a suitcase, packed a week ago, just in case. I opened the laptop, double-checked the automation, 3 scheduled emails, each with attachments. 1 to Rachel's parents, 1 to my attorney, 1 to Miles himself, with a copy of the marriage certificate and a polite note asking if he was aware that his girlfriend was still legally married. I hit send now instead. Then I sat on the suitcase, took another drag from a cigarette I didn't finish, and waited for the fallout to start. First ping, Rachel, where are you? Second, Rachel again. We need to talk. Third, my lawyer. Received. Confirming delivery of the files and initiating next steps. I'll call in the morning. Fourth, unknown number. I assumed it was Miles. No message. At midnight, I checked into a hotel under a name I'd used before, one Rachel wouldn't know. The room was small, sterile. Just a bed, a desk, and a window facing the alley. Perfect. I powered down the burner phone and laid back, eyes open, heartbeat steady. This wasn't heartbreak. This was calculation. She toasted her future. I just wrote the end of her present. By morning, the world had shifted. Rachel had sent 14 texts, 3 missed calls, 1 voicemail. I didn't listen to it. I already knew the tone. First panic, then confusion, then performance. What surprised me was how fast Miles cracked. At 8:03 a.m., I got a response from his number. I didn't know. Jesus Christ, man, I didn't know. At 8:07, another. We're done. I blocked her. I'm sorry. By 8:15, I had a LinkedIn alert. Miles Greer had just updated his relationship status to single. Subtle. Rachel was slower. She didn't know the scope yet, so I gave her a glimpse. I uploaded a shared Google Drive link. All the surveillance photos, the emails, screenshots of her saying she'd be free soon. The metadata stamps showing they checked into the Waterstone Hotel 3 times during the same weeks she claimed she was visiting her sister. She viewed it within 5 minutes. At 9:21, I got the message I was expecting. Please, just tell me where you are. I didn't reply. I just forwarded the message to my lawyer. 2 days passed before she knocked on my door. Not our house. She hadn't seen that in a week. I'd moved into a rental under a holding company name. Sparse furniture. Cold walls. Temporary everything. I opened the door and stood in silence. Rachel looked like she hadn't slept. No makeup. No jewelry. Hair knotted in a half-failed bun. She didn't even have the decency to fake dignity. Can we talk? She asked. We are. She stepped inside uninvited. I didn't stop her. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she started. It was just, you're not going to spin this into a mistake, I said. You planned it. You lied. And you got caught. She opened her mouth, but there was no defense. Just air. You toasted, I added. In front of me. Her eyes watered. I panicked. I didn't expect them to. Finish your sentence, I said. You didn't expect them to what? Out you? Celebrate your upgrade? She sat down on the couch. Not the way a guilty spouse does. More like a kid caught cheating on a test. Embarrassed at being exposed. Not sorry it happened. I didn't love him, she said. Didn't ask. You don't have to do this. Actually, I do. That same day, my lawyer filed the divorce papers. Breach of marital trust, infidelity, emotional damages supported by digital and physical evidence. It would hold up. The prenup had a clause, her idea, ironically, about infidelity nullifying asset claims. She thought she'd never need it. Her lawyer, a mid-level name from a boutique firm downtown, called me within 48 hours. Are you open to mediation? No. You understand she'll contest. She can contest all she wants. The data doesn't lie. I heard him sigh. He'd seen the files. Would you be open to a clean exit? No alimony. No countersuits. I smiled. Wasn't that what I offered her? A clean life? He didn't respond. Word spread fast. Carly stopped posting group selfies. Jason untagged himself from the dinner night photos. Whatever social ladder Rachel thought she was climbing collapsed underneath her. The worst part, for her, wasn't the divorce. It was the context. The narrative wasn't a marriage fell apart. It was she betrayed a good man and got exposed in front of everyone. Her work heard the whispers. One of the board members was a client of my firm. He called me personally. She ever bring that guy around here? No, I replied. But she brought the lie. She resigned a week later. Personal reasons. HR speak for preempting the scandal. One night, 2 weeks after she left, I found a note slipped under the door. It wasn't dramatic. Just a folded piece of paper with 5 words. You were always watching, huh? No signature. No plea. She was right. I was always watching. Not in paranoia, in quiet preparation. I just needed enough rope. She supplied the rest. I burned the note. Not for symbolism. For privacy. Then I poured a drink, sat on the edge of the bed, and made one last call. Not to Rachel, not to the lawyer. To Miles. He answered after 2 rings. Yeah. Just wanted to let you know, I said. She's free now. He didn't reply. I waited. She already tried to reach out, he finally said. I didn't answer. Good. You going to be all right? I already am. I hung up. 3 weeks after the dinner, I returned to the house. Not to stay, just to evaluate. It was quiet. Still decorated the same. Her throw pillows, her candles, her curated sense of charm layered over every room like a marketing brochure. I walked through slowly, room by room, documenting what stayed and what she took. She left the espresso machine I bought her for Christmas. Took the vase her mother gave us. Left her books. Took the wine collection. She didn't take a single framed photo. Not of us. Not of her. The real divorce wasn't the legal process. It was this. Absence curated by selection. Erasure disguised as moving on. I opened the office drawer and found the watch she gave me on our 3rd anniversary. Still ticking. I left it there. The legal proceedings took less than a month. We didn't appear in court. Everything was handled through filings, attorneys, and notarized signatures. She asked for nothing. Not out of grace. Because she knew she'd get less if she pushed. The evidence package I assembled, hotel footage, financial trails, text message transcripts, would have held up in any courtroom. Her lawyer folded fast once he saw the timeline. No counterclaim. No appeals. The final document was stamped on a Monday. My lawyer sent a simple text. "It's done." I replied with a single word. Good. I didn't feel relief. Just confirmation. The execution had been clean. Weeks passed. Rachel tried once more, a long email this time. 8 paragraphs. Apologies. Regrets. Nostalgia. Not a single acceptance of responsibility, just rhetorical questions posed like confession. Was it really that bad? Did you ever stop loving me? Do you think I deserve to be hated forever? I archived the email without replying. She didn't need answers. She needed an audience. I wasn't giving her that. I sold the house. Quietly. Under a private trust. The money went into a new portfolio under a different identity. I left the city 2 days after closing. No goodbyes. No announcements. New name. New state. New job. Or at least the illusion of one. I built a consultancy firm that doesn't advertise. My clients come by referral only. Discretion is the product. I help high-net individuals untangle reputational disasters, affairs, leaks, whistleblowers, hidden liabilities. It turns out there's value in understanding betrayal at scale. They don't know my story. They just know I get results. My business cards are blank. Once, late at night, I checked her social media. Her profile was private. Her bio empty. Last post, a filtered photo of a beach with the caption, "Rebuilding." I closed the tab and never opened it again. Rebuilding takes wood, brick, stone. She has sand. People ask if I'll ever trust again. They mean romantically. I don't answer. But the truth is, I trust plenty. I trust paper trails. I trust contracts. I trust that if you give someone long enough, they'll always reveal their true nature, especially when they think you aren't watching. I don't love less now. I just calculate more. One day, I sat at a rooftop bar in another city. Clear skyline, clean air, anonymity wrapped around me like armor. The bartender made small talk. Asked what I did for a living. I fixed things, I said. He nodded, poured the drink, didn't ask for more. Perfect. I took the glass, looked out over the skyline, and thought, this is what survival looks like. Not rage. Not bitterness. Just silence. And control.